Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to the channel. So we have a really cool topic I want to talk about today, and I would love to hear from you guys down in that comment section below once the video is over to see what you think. And what we're going to talk about today is the fact that most new lifters develop a really bad habit when they first start training, and that bad habit starts to follow them throughout their entire lifting career, and in most cases ends up being the #1 reason why they stop growing. And believe it or not, that one mistake that they make, at least in my opinion, is that they do not take time off. And I'm not talking about deloading, okay? Deloading is where you're still training, but you're drastically reducing your training volume and overall intensity. I mean straight up time off from the gym, and also known as detraining. And you guys have seen this term before. We talk about it a lot in my nuclei overload training videos, which if you want to learn more about nuclei overload training or what it is, I'll briefly mention it here. You can check out this video right here. I have all the science and data, all the studies you guys want to see in this video. Science and studies in this video. And the reason why I'm repeating it is because in the last video I said the science and studies are in this video. I still got comments down below from people asking for the science and studies that are in this video right here. So check it out. Anyways, I know that was annoying, but you can still give me a thumbs up. So, the basic principle of why detraining is so important is because when you start training for a long period of time, your muscles just are no longer as sensitive to muscle damage, okay? Your body's #1 goal is to try to adapt to what it has to do every single day. And if you're training super hard every single day, your body is going to adapt to that because it doesn't make sense for your body to be super sore all the time. Your body needs to figure out a way to adapt so it can continue to do the same repetitive task over and over and over again. And the way it does that is by building muscle, donating more nuclei into the muscle so the muscle can grow, and then just becoming more efficient at that movement, okay? So, how does this relate to you, and how does this relate to people not taking time off? Well, as a new lifter, the reason why I think this habit develops is because when you first start training, especially if you've never trained before, you see a lot of gains in that first year of training. We call them newbie gains, right? You go to the gym, you got your workout program, you're finally on the correct meal plan, your macros are ready, you start eating that food, you start training correctly, you start to learn how to squat, bench, and deadlift properly, and then you start to notice quite quickly you're adding weight to those movements, and you're starting to build muscle, and you feel great. And because you see consistent gains for a long period of time within that first year, you start to develop this habit or thought process in your head that as long as you train as hard as you can and you stick to that program and you don't take any days off, you're going to continue to grow. And if you stop training, you're going to lose those gains. And that's everybody's fear. And that's what I think is the #1 reason why most people do not detrain, where they literally go a week or two without any training at all, is this fear that if we stop working out, we're going to lose everything. Because what happens when you stop working out? Your body finally has time to properly recover, so inflammation goes down. But what also happens? You kind of shrink a little bit. And even though your muscles might shrink a little bit, they're not holding, let's say, as much mass. And that could be due to a few different reasons, right? But even if your muscles do start to shrink a little bit, the amount of myonuclei in your muscles, which is what basically tells it how big to get, because only one nuclei can only hold so much muscle mass. So the amount of nuclei in that muscle that's responsible for holding all that muscle mass, they don't go away just because you start to shrink a little bit because you don't train. The nuclei remains the same, right? But what's happening when you're detraining and you stop training, and a lot of you are going to go through this relatively soon because you have not been able to go to the gym for weeks or some of you months because you're stuck at home in the quarantine and gyms are closed. But what's going to happen, and what has happened, is that because you haven't trained, your body, your muscles, is now more sensitive to muscle damage and mTOR again. And when you start training and your body is sensitive to muscle damage, which is that feeling you get where you go to the gym after not training for a while and then you can't extend your arms anymore and you feel too sore to move, because your body is now so sensitive to muscle damage again, and because when you train you feel that way, your body's response is to get those surrounding satellite cells to start donating more myonuclei into the muscle again. And as I mentioned earlier, the more myonuclei you have, the more mass that muscle can hold. And so detraining without getting scientific, okay, and myonuclei overload training or nuclei overload training, it's really nothing different than from what you guys are doing right now. And there was a lot of confusion surrounding the subject, which is why I wanted to touch upon it again. And I wanted to also touch upon it again because now that a lot of you are starting to go back to the gym, I want you to really pay attention to how you look and feel. You've had all this time off, you've had all this time to detrain, and now when you go back to the gym, you know what's gonna happen. You are gonna be sore as hell that first week back, right? I know what's gonna happen. You know what's gonna happen. You're already preparing like all these donuts to sit on because you know that first few days of hitting legs is gonna be absolute hell. You're not gonna be able to sit on your toilet. It's gonna hurt. You're gonna be pooping like this, like one cheek at a time, just to try to like reduce the pain. I see you laughing, Ricky, because you know it's true too. But pay attention to that, right? And then what I want you to pay attention to is how you look and feel once you get back into the groove. So your first week back, second week back, third week back. Take a look in the mirror. Look at your muscles. We are our own worst critics. So we will be able to tell if we look and feel better than we did before we were stuck at home and couldn't go to the gym. And if you do take a look and you do notice that you're feeling better, you're feeling stronger, your weights are going up, it's because of one simple reason. You're probably starting to pack on a bit more mass. Even if it's just a little bit, you're still packing on more. Why? Because you detrained and you once again made your muscles more sensitive to muscle damage and mTOR, which is gonna result in growth. So the big takeaway from this video, you can train as hard as you want to, but if you decide to train like that forever and you never take time off, you will plateau and you will either stop growing or see snail movement like growth for the very reason that your body has no need to grow because it's not as sensitive, okay? That's what it is. I'm not asking you guys or telling you you need to do something different. All I'm saying is when you go back to the gym, pay attention to how you feel, and then every 4 to 6, maybe 8 weeks max, just take some time off. Literally do nothing, stay at home, eat right, do not go to the gym for anywhere of 1 to 2 weeks, and then do it again and repeat this process. And if you don't see more growth, you can come back to this video and tell me that I'm full of it. But if you do start to see growth, you better bet your ass you better come back to this video and be like, hey, seems like you were right. And you weren't spewing bro science or anything. All you're saying is train hard, continue to train hard, but also give your body time to rest. Hope you guys enjoyed today's video. I really like these sit down and talk videos. They're a lot of fun for me. If you guys want to see more, or if you have some topics that you would like me to discuss, let me know down in that comment section. And make sure you smash that like button. And also, if you want to see more cool videos from me, like that one I mentioned that had all that science in it, boom, check out this video here. And if you need a new program, you guys can go to my website, muscularstrength.com, where all of my programs are listed. We got push-pull legs, full body training, cheat and recover, and the list goes on. You can try every single program for 1 week free with code MS7 when you download my app and sign up right here. See you guys next time.